play this video. It says I seen this on the Pat Bell podcast. According to Gilbert Arenas, he said fear and love is some of the elements that determine greatness for a person. Let
Mm.
me add this video real quick.
Hey,
Mm.
man, like what made people great, right? I wanted to identify greatness, right? Two parent homes, one parent home. What was the father like? Genetics, like what was the atmosphere? Like, okay, if like somebody like Curry and Clay, right, didn't come from the hood, right? So somebody who like a Jimmy Butler and them, right, their fear of hunger and being poor and coming from this environment, they didn't want to be in this environment no more, drove them to be great.
Mm.
All right, what's the other side look like? Like the Grant Hills, and what's making them work? Love. So then you identified the ways to make it to your profession is either fear of staying where you are, or you love it so much that you obsess with it.
Yeah.
There's only two roads.
Damn.
And I
That's
don't
what's
think being in the NBA and being from humble beginnings, I don't think one is bigger than the other now.
Because I was having.
All right.
That's
What
solid.
y'all think about that,
That's solid. That's solid. That's true.
People don't think they are driven by emotions or motivated, but don't nothing make you move like fear, and don't nothing make you feel like you can do something you never thought you could do besides love. Like when you first see your kid, you really want to provide them, and that's moving out of love. So your motivation really matters to what you do, because you can get used to anything. Any terrible circumstances can be your normal, but
I think he missed one thing too. I think those two are definitely, but I think resources, man, make a difference too, man. Like if you have resources.
Yeah, of course. But like motivation wise, your resources don't motivate you. Losing those resources out of that fear may motivate you, and loving those resources may motivate you. But I think
I'm talking
he was
about
talking
as far as the
about
people, like
driving
if your parents got the resources to get you the cleats and stuff like that,
And guess what?
Out there in XJ9000s or whatever.
And we see a lot of the times those people aren't motivated to do anything. They just go to school because school is paid for and it's easy and everything is a little bit more smoother. But you see though, like he said, you see people humble beginnings. They got 6'6", and basketball is all they had. If they didn't do this, they were going to be broke on the street. Their mama wasn't going to do this, so that fear motivated them because they had something to lose. When you got that golden parachute, like even Elon Musk inherited a lot of wealth from him. He came from a wealthy family, so he had the resources to try different things. He had the luxury to try and fail. Well, it's easy to keep going, not easy, but keep going and try another idea after failed idea. Like you don't have the resources to fail 75 times.
Right.
You have the resources to fail maybe twice. If school don't go right for you one or two times, you can't keep doing loans. So resources are different, but it wasn't motivational for him to have those resources. It didn't push him. It just gave him the freedom to keep trying until his electric car blew up, and now he's making.
I think what I'm saying, like resources, like to really keep like Grant Hill, like when you got resources to keep your kid away from an environment that could pull them down off a random situation. Like how many dudes that we know that really could have went pro, but just that random situation in the city stopped them from doing that, making that, that random mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is all I'm saying. Like, you think about like a lot of dudes, trying to think of a situation. I don't want to say nobody names, but we went to school with some dudes, man, that was, man, awesome. But just the randomness of living in the hood, man, got to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you think about Michael Orr, right? Michael Orr was with their family that had the resources that kept him away from there and had them in school playing football and camps or whatever. I'm not saying that you got to have that, but I'm saying that make a difference, though, as far as the percentages, as far as, increasing the chances, I guess is what I'm saying.
if you like,
Cause summertime, we know that summertime is one of the roughest times for kids in the inner city, right? Cause you out of school, not every kid can go to football camp or whatever. So you just kind of just hanging out, you know what I'm saying?
eat, yeah,
or even
Yeah,
eat.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
they're starting to give like low income families like food stamps because they knew those kids were relying on those 2 meals at school every day.
yeah. Oh man,
But when you
inflation is
talk
real, man. For real, real
when
tell.
you
What
talk
you about to say,
about
Bill?
when you have a highly successful person, sometimes they'll tell you, they'll get on a podcast and say this is what made me successful, waking up at 5 in the morning or
Oh yeah, that's
doing
bull. Yeah, that's for sure.
doing that because like some people say they don't really know. It was a mixture of the resources they had, luck, meeting the right person, being in the right situation, just how Michael Orr was in the right situation. A lot of people, they were in the wrong situation. They got in one car, that car had a gun in it, that gun had a body in it. Instead of going to college, they went to jail for an accessory to murder that they weren't even attached to. So luck can go both ways. It can be that
Right.
one that make you invent Facebook, or the one that can get you locked up because you was in the wrong network. So that's a right network, a wrong network or association can get you higher or get you lower. But we
But see,
can't.
like, and right.
Go ahead.
Even within in the hood, right? We was talking about like say bad luck, good luck. Some things I learned this from my own experience. Some things, man, you just gonna have to go without. You got to put in the work, and you got to go without while you putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went through that phase, having the rims and stuff, and hanging out and stuff. But when I really started coming to my brain, I was like, man, this stuff is meaningless. Like he just said, it's kind of meaningless at some point when you get to that point in your head. But man, knowing who to be around and not to be around is one of the most important things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want to find out by doing 10 years in the feds to not, that's the worst way to find out, not to be around somebody, you know what I'm saying? But understanding that dynamic, like, dude, like, I don't even want to risk. Like, some people, y'all might know this, but some kids don't know this. Like, I'm not getting in the car with this person with Freddie Joe at all, because I know what he about. You know what I'm saying? Like it's documented. I know what he about. I'm not getting in the car with dude. I'll walk. I'll keep walking. You know what I'm saying?
But
It whether he offer me a ride or not. Go ahead, P. What you about to
yeah,
say?
like the ones I grew up around, they already gonna tell you, hey, even if you know it, they're like, hey, say young blood, no, we ain't letting you. You
Some
got
dudes
to
don't
make.
tell you though. Yeah.
No, that's
What
what I'm
was that
saying.
movie?
The
Was it
ones I
caught up?
grew up, the ones I
Yeah.
grew up around, they was
Yeah.
like,
For sure.
no, you got a whole different path, and I appreciate that too.
Yeah. For
I
sure.
That's a
appreciate,
real OG.
yeah.
Yeah. Real OG. Yeah.
Hey
Ain't too
man,
many of them floating around no more, man. Them
mm
dudes.
mm.
You see that
Yeah,
podcast, the OG? You ever see that podcast, the old dudes on there? The OG podcast? Yo, man, tell them about the OGs, man. Yo, man, this is your boy Magic Dunn One. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, but
Let
yeah.
me tell you, you understand me? I was in
mm,
Chicago, man. They call me Magic, man.
yeah,
But
And
nah,
you
man, leave
notice
them dudes
with
alone.
real OGs, they're really talented managers too. They see
mm-hmm,
potential in some
mm-hmm,
Oh, yeah.
kids. They have a close relationship to violence, and they can do that. They can go down that dark path, and that wouldn't be nothing for them. And then they can see them one. It ain't in you, and you were kind of smart, and I see the
Hmm.
potential in another light. So they can recruit you to do some bad stuff, and they can see this
Yeah,
another kid and motivate them to do good things. So it's a talent management.
and
for
that,
You know,
sure.
yeah,
and they have those skills. And then it's like the luck, because you can work harder than somebody, be better than somebody, and they can have more success. Right place,
Yes.
right time. I think
100%.
Michael Vick got a stronger arm than Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes got more Super Bowls. You know what I mean? And then like Patrick Mahomes is like, well, this man can throw harder than me. He's smart, more athleticism. Why isn't he doing this? Why didn't he
That's
ever do
actually a
this?
good example. Why
mm,
You
do
know
you
what I
think
mean?
that
And
Patrick
I'm
Mahomes
seeing
had
you
more? Go ahead.
go,
What's a
and
good
I'm
example?
seeing this man being have more physical ability than me. He's working harder or just as hard. But why am I a 3-time Super Bowl champion and he never made it to the Super Bowl? And there's really no answer. Time, place, association.
I think there's an answer. It's just people don't want to be honest about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, think about Michael Vick. He did have a strong arm, but what would you rate Patrick Mahomes' pocket presence versus Michael Vick pocket presence, like just pocket passing? What would you rate him? 1 to 10.
It's like,
Mahomes probably about an 8 pocket presence.
I would get probably
Just
a
standing
9.
up in the pocket,
I'm
throwing the ball.
Probably a 9 or 10. I mean, probably
Michael Vick.
one of the best.
Michael.
Now, so like pocket presence and throwing,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes like 10 or 9. Now,
Yeah.
Michael Vick probably about 5 or 6,
Yes.
5,
Right.
5 to 6. But
Right.
pocket presence and scrambling and escapability,
And then
Michael Vick's got a sixth sense about escaping the pocket to
Yes.
run.
Okay. Right.
So, you know
and
what I
that's,
mean?
and
So,
that's no
yeah.
problem. But I'm saying sustainability over amount of time. That 9 in pocket presence, 10 in pocket presence will sustain you longer, right? Than scrambling. Because when you scramble, you take the risk on getting hit by somebody that's 260.
That's if you got a team. You got it.
Yeah, and that's see,
Right,
there's
and I
so
understand
many-
that too.
There's
I
so
understand
many
that too.
factors that one person doesn't control.
Right,
Patrick
I
Mahomes
get
didn't
it.
control all of that. Him now, Michael Vick controlled all that off the field. But I'm talking about somebody successful and somebody that wasn't so successful with sometimes even more talent.
Right,
So you can
right.
you can work
But what
harder,
I'm saying is
have
there
more
is an
talent,
answer.
and you can still
Yeah.
lose or still.
Because
not be great.
could you learn that? Could he learn how to throw in the pocket, Michael Vick? Could he have learned how to throw in the pocket? Yes or no?
He did.
Okay,
He
look,
did. On the
I'm
cool.
gonna like okay. Michael Vick was in the league a certain amount of time.
Right, I understand that, but he
and
got
they
hit
were
up. He got caught up.
And they was trying like let's say he was in the league 10 years.
Right.
He went to practice. You think those coaches weren't coaching him, and he wasn't trying to be a better pocket passer? He was trying. Like
He revert back to what he knows. I don't think he is.
No.
Go ahead.
We see this, and we assume because he wasn't doing it, he wasn't trying. That man went to work every day and tried. Some people like those are grown men that have been playing football all their life. You don't think he was trying? Like, what's the difference between Alex Smith and Tom Brady, or even Peyton Manning and Tom Brady? All of those three guys.
Tom Brady
Alex
listened
Smith,
to the coach.
Alex, see, you think there's something they're not doing it. Alex Smith, Ivy League graduate, very smart guy.
Yeah.
But he just didn't. Peyton Manning had something. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they all worked hard. And if Drew Bledsoe didn't get hurt, Tom Brady is never Tom Brady. Hard work.
I guess what I'm saying
would have never happened. So it's an
what I'm
opportunity.
saying is
Hard
Michael
work,
Vick.
development, and opportunity.
What I'm saying is, as an individual, I had to learn this for myself. As an individual, there come points in your life where you have to develop yourself. A coach can't do it. Can't nobody else do it. You have to make that up in your mind. That's all I'm saying. In my opinion, I just don't think that he wanted to do that. That was working for him because he's like, why do I need to add this bullet to my gun when these other bullets are working?
I think he did. But
I agree with you.
I think he did.
I think he did.
I did. I agree with you, Pierre. But go ahead.
So I don't think he practiced on working throwing the route tree. I don't know. I don't think
if you go back when they finally started like really letting them play in Philly, you saw him pocket passing. You saw
when he wanted to, but he didn't want to do it consistently.
Look, I think, like this is the same thing with Shaq and free throws.
Yeah.
If you think 100%. Shaq wasn't working on free throws, you're crazy.
Man, look at him in the playoff. The playoff.
He kind of say, but he also kind of say he didn't. He said he just hit him when he need to. He said he didn't care about free throws, but he just hit him when he need to.
Because he was working on it.
I mean, who's going to say they're 14% in field goals, and you get on TV, I've really been working on my free throws. I was in the gym 8 hours a day. I was in the gym 3 hours before practice, focusing on free throws, and the results don't show that, you look like a fool. So, like every class clown, I wasn't even trying to study. I wasn't even trying to study. That's a cop out to protect your pride. Shaq was working on his free throws, just like Michael Vick was working on pocket passes. The results just weren't there. And with your self-growth journey, you cannot believe, and it's bad for your psyche to believe you can work hard and practice on something and dedicate the time and not get the result you want. And those men dedicated the time, they did the research, they did the work, and it didn't work. They didn't get better. And they tried everything they could, and they just didn't get better.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, because it's a difference between upper echelon and regular. And some people, everybody that's regular or below average, they want to be exceptional. And it's,
for sure. 100%.
And it's not always they were lazy. They worked hard. They was there every day. They put in, and it just didn't happen for them.
I mean, just like in I tell kids, it's in dating. Like some dudes are good at certain things, and it stands out, and some dudes are not. And it's just, some dudes good at being funny, some dudes good at conversation, some dudes got the resources.
Well, go work on being funny then. It just don't work like
that. You can if you just know how to do it, but some people,
that with your mindset, that's what you have to believe. You cannot not believe that. It'll mess up your the core values of
I get what
who
you
are
saying.
as a man.
I'm not saying he gonna be Peyton Manning, but I'm saying like there are some things that he could have worked on if he wanted to.
And your answer is going to be always he could have worked harder. He should have worked harder, and that's why he didn't succeed.
But like, do you think he was watching game film and stuff? Do you think he was doing?
Yes.
He was kicking. This is what I'm talking about. The young Michael Vick in Atlanta before the stuff.
Man, of course he could have did more. Man. But yes,
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
But guess what? Everybody could have done more. Yeah. That was his job, 8 hours a day. He wasn't sitting back eating candy bars when everybody else was practicing.
You never know. We weren't there. You never know.
Most people don't do it.
Mike, you funny.
What's that eating candy? He had Skittles for his snack, man. Marvin Harrison. So you think other people weren't doing that?
Marshawn.
Dale Green. No, not Marshawn, but Marvin Harrison did too.
Yeah, basically, Marvin Harrison was a snack food junkie.
Dale Green had Tootsie Roll in his socks, bro.
Hey, I understand. I can't say nothing. I understand.
Oh man.
But you can go. People can work out every day, and one person can get faster, and another one can stay with that same speed. But go ahead.